And I am also going to hit the recording inside the Zoom room. And I just want to welcome everyone to day number 1, module number 1 of our masterclass series, which is titled Your Money Blueprint. And today's module is Your Money Blueprint. Today, we're going to be diving deep on what actually is that exactly. What is our money blueprint? And it is an embodiment. It is a feeling. And just before we went live, we were having a disco here in the Zoom room, and I was talking about embodiment and how that is the key piece to receiving wealth, prosperity, and abundance. If we are stuck in our left side of our thinking, logical brain, we're not going to be able to receive through the energetics, through our alignment. We're going to be too overloaded in this side of our brain. We've got to get over into the right side of our brain, which is our quantum side. And we want to be really connecting with our feelings and really embodying all of these tools and these practices, so that we can align with our higher truth, so that we can align with God, with spirit, with universe, with infinite intelligence, whatever it is that you call all that is. So we want to really loosen up. And that's why I was dancing here in the Zoom room this morning, because we've really got to loosen ourselves up. If we're very restricted energetically and very serious and very thinking about everything very calculatedly, we're not going to be able to connect with our creator. We've really got to start to loosen ourselves up, and dance is an amazing way to do that, but not just dancing for the sake of dancing, actually embodying the music, feeling that beat inside of yourself, inside of your soul, you know, and dancing around the house once every day. Dancing is medicine. Music is medicine. And when you're actually moving your hips, you are in connection with fem flow. You are actually activating that feminine flow, that sacred part of yourself. So I am just going to see if we are in fact live inside our group. I really hope we are, because it would be terrible to have to start from the beginning again. We are. Amazing, amazing. So welcome everyone. And I'd love in the chat, and for those of you that are joining us live on Facebook, I'd love to hear about where you're all located from. Hello, Michelle. So good to have you here. We've got 2 Michelles. We've got quite a few Michelles. I actually messaged the wrong Michelle last night, who was jumping on a complimentary potency call. I got a little bit confused there, but all is well, all is well. Lisa, Palm Cove, Queensland. Freaking amazing in my neck of the woods, Lisa. Hope you're enjoying our weather. Dina is in New Samara Beach, Florida, amazing. Alberta, Canada, Michelle Bateman, amazing. Alabama, Anna, did Anna just jump on? Oh my goodness, so good to have you here, my darling. Amazing. We've got Tracy is in Singleton, New South Wales. And we've got Susanna Nahala is in Spain. Amazing. We have got a global community here, which is super exciting. Sarah Johnson's in Bundaberg, Queensland. Oh my goodness. Yay, Sarah. In my neck of the woods, Tora is in Doringo, New South Wales. Oh, such a beautiful part of the world. So incredibly excited to have you all here. And on our Facebook page, for those that are joining us live, please comment along as you are watching. We love connecting with you all. So let's get into this. For those of you that are seeing me for the first time, there is many of you. We have 87 women that have registered for the next 3-day masterclass series, which is super exciting. And Many of you are my clients, many of you are past clients, and many of you are seeing me for the very, very first time. So I just wanted to introduce myself and just share a little bit about who I am, some of the experiences that I've had, and then we're going to dive straight into this. We're really going to be diving into the depths over the next 3 days. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Jess Quigley. I'm a quantum business self-mastery and intuitive coach. I work with coaches, consultants, and network marketers and healers, women in online businesses. I help them scale their businesses through the energetics of wealth creation and an organic lead generation strategy that I teach that has the potentiality to manifest $100,000 consistent months in your online businesses. I also work with women on the self-mastery and the frequency coding. I've been running courses and programs and doing this work for most of my life, but officially I got started 12 years ago. And how I actually got started was I started giving spiritual emailed readings to people globally. 12 years ago, I was too afraid to talk to anyone. There is no way that I would have been able to show up and deliver a masterclass series like this. I look back on my live videos from a decade ago, sometimes when I had my old Facebook account, they used to pop up in the stories and I used to cringe, right? They were so bad, but it didn't matter. I got started and I was here on mission. I've always been searching for my purpose and wanting to share my purpose with the world. And as the time has gone on and I've gone deeper on doing the purpose work, it's been incredible what I've been able to actually bring through. And that's what I'm here to share with you all. And so, like I was saying, I was too afraid to talk to anyone, but that's where I got started. I had conversations with Spirit and I was like, Spirit, guide me to what it is that I need to do. Like, let's get going. I had a spiritual awakening around 15 years ago. I got started on a personal development journey in my very early 20s. When I was 14 years old, I wanted to participate in personal development. My soul was calling me to do some work on myself. But when I was 14 years old, my family just didn't have financial access to investing in me. But when I was 21, I was given a couple of $1,000s by my beautiful divine grandparents, and I invested that money immediately in a huge program called the Landmark Forum, which actually still is in existence to this day. And I actually think that it's global. And I loved that program. I thrived and I signed up and did the whole goddamn thing, of course, because I just got so much out of it. I remember sitting there in the audience. I remember the speakers. It was hundreds of people that would attend. It was a huge personal development seminar. It went for like 4 days, kind of like a mini Tony Robbins thing. And I remember sitting in the audience and I remember watching the guest speakers and I remember sitting there thinking that is going to be me one day. That is absolutely what my soul is absolutely yearning to do. But of course it felt ridiculous. I sat there thinking, oh, you're an idiot. You could never do that. Like, you would never be able to get to that point where you would be able to be that person or even speak in front of people or have that much knowledge or have that much expertise. And so the journey began. And so where I got started was where I got started, giving spiritual emailed readings. I didn't have to talk to anyone. I literally would open up my email and I would type. And I would send these readings that were channeled and they were divine. And, I just about shit myself before I'd press send because I'd be like, oh my God, I hope that this is, spot on. And I hope they fall in love with this. And, I always receive the most amazing feedback. And usually a week later, after I'd sent the readings, I'd read over them. I then had the courage to, I'm just going to go back and have a read over that reading that I sent. And I was always absolutely blown away. I didn't feel like I had written what was in those words. And so what I used to charge per emailed reading was $30 per emailed reading. Now, every single thing that I'm going to share with you all today, there's going to be keys. Within every single thing that I say, there are keys, there are codes here, right? You're all here because I've got some keys and you want the keys. And so everything that I share, I'm sharing a key. So really take notice. You may want to come back over and watch the replays again. You may want to take notes, or you may want to watch the replays a second or a third or a fourth time and take notes. But everything that I say has a key for you. And so what I was sharing was my emailed readings were $30 a pop, right? And it was the only way that I could do my work at that time because I was too afraid to talk to anyone. I couldn't read in person. As soon as the physical person entered the room, my spiritual connection, my channel closed because they were there in the room and I hadn't quite figured out how to master that part of it. And so I felt like if I didn't do what I was born to do, I felt like I was going to explode. I felt like my soul was going to die. And so I was working with Spirit and I was, Spirit, how can I do this? And so Spirit was like, of course, just go out there and help people to start with. And so I created a Facebook page and I did that. I spent 3 hours every single week serving my community, serving all my followers at the highest level. And I would do a free interactive reading every single week. And occasionally I would miss a week and people would reach out and wonder where I was. Where's our interactive free reading this week, Jess? And occasionally I had to have a week off because my husband was in defense. He was never home and we had 3 children. And so occasionally, you know, shit would hit the fan and I just wouldn't be able to fit in the 3 hours of free guidance. And so what this enabled me to do was I always had a consistent flow of people signing up for the emailed readings. And also what this also did was our finances didn't allow, our family budget at that time didn't allow for me to pay for my hairdressers and my chiropractic care and all of the next level amazing health products that I purchased through the chiropractor. And so what I did was I came up with a plan and I was like, all right, well, how many emailed readings would I need to sell to pay to take care of all of those things that are so important to me, that are going to lift my vibration, that are an absolute non-negotiable, but the family budget doesn't quite stretch to cover all of those things. How many emailed readings am I going to need to sell in order to pay for all of those things that are in soul alignment with me? And so I got really clear. So here's a key, right? Clarity. I got really clear. There was a portal there, all right? The money knew where it needed to go and it was aligned for the greater good of myself, of my soul, and of my service. Because when I'm feeling really good, my readings were better and I get to serve at a higher level. And so there was clarity there. Another key is I just got started, right? I was too afraid to talk to anyone. So I worked with Spirit and I was like, Spirit, we got to get started. I'm going to explode if I don't start to do my purpose work here on earth, but I'm too afraid to talk to anyone. So Spirit helped guide me. We worked together with a plan. And so I would literally sit behind my computer for hours on end and channel. And it was so amazing. It felt so divine. I absolutely loved it. And I was never, ever, ever short of a reading order. Actually, I ended up with too many of them because it was so aligned. And I never, not once, had to cancel a hairdresser appointment or had to ring my chiropractor and say, I haven't got the money to pay for you today, right? It always, always, always flowed through. And so first of all, I want to say to you all, money needs a direction. It needs a portal. And money wants to go where it feels good. Money wants to go where it can be celebrated. Money wants to go where there is expansion and expansiveness and excitement and joy and you know, and extraordinary things going on. Money wants to go where it's celebrated. So we've got to have really a lot of clarity around, well, what do we actually want the money for? If we're focused on bills, it's not great because bills carries a low vibration, right? And we can do work on flipping that. And I'm going to be teaching you some tools to help you all with all of that. But if you're wanting to manifest wealth and prosperity to pay off your credit card, its vibration is going to be very low. Like it says in The Secret, for those of you that have seen The Secret, I've watched it about 100 times. If you're focusing on debt, you're going to get more debt. So you want to create portals, and you want to get really clear on the portals of where's the money going to. And it's got to be exciting. It's got to, no, scrap that. It's got to be exhilarating. You've got to have a compelling future. Money doesn't want to go where it's mediocre. Money doesn't want to go where it's like, oh, that would be nice. Money wants to go where it's exhilarating. Money wants you to have an extraordinary life experience. But if you are feeling all kinds of lack and scarcity and bogged down in your relationship with money, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So the next 3 days is all about helping you all heal your relationship with money. That's going to be a key to all of this. You've got to heal your relationship with money. So how on earth do we do that? The next 3 days, we're going to go deep. We're going to cover all of that. So who in the chat, who is ready? Who is actually really red hot ready to increase their income? In the chat here in the Zoom room and on Facebook, who is ready to increase their income? Welcome, Kay McLean. Thank you so much for joining in the Facebook page. Lindy, hello, my darling. Oh, Vicky Jones is in the house. Hello, my love. So good to have you here. Vicky is absolutely ready. Amazing. Who have we got here? Michelle Denford. Me. Dina's definitely ready. Lisa Horn is red hot ready. Bring it on. Michelle has taken Landmark. Amazing, Michelle. Oh, it was my catalyst too. Epic. So good. It's extraordinary how many conversations I have with women that know about Landmark or have actually done Landmark. Nahala, more than ready. Of course you are, my love. Tora, 100%. Woo! Monique, yes. Tracy, more than ready. Boom. Sarah, yes. Amazing. Kay is ready, ready, ready. Aileen, hello, gorgeous one. Big yes. Amazing. Kate Evans, let's go. Amazing, amazing. Alrighty, so let's get into this. I want to say to you all, I want you to embody this, okay? Remember, this is embodiment. This masterclass series is designed for activation. You're coming in here to have your codes switched on. I'm working with your energy. I'm going to say some things that may trigger you, but ultimately, I'm going to help shift you all to having a huge breakthrough and to embodying a new energy. So I want you all to expect amazing frigging results over the next 3 days. I want you to expect it. I want you to set an intention for it. Don't forget to empty your cups. If you're like, oh, we've already heard this. Your cup is too full. You may as well not be here. You may as well go for a walk. You've got to empty that cup. You've got to set the intention for a massive breakthrough. Every single time I have a session with my own coach, I'm sitting in that chair and I empty my cup and I'm like, this session is going to be breakthrough. I'm going to soak it up and I'm going to receive and I'm going to go down into the depths and I'm going to get absolutely every single thing out of it. So that's what we want to do this week. And I want to say to you all, you are as rich right now as any individual who has ever walked upon this planet. And I want you to really feel that. I want you to really embody it. And I want you to start walking through your life like that is so, because it is. You have to start walking around and embodying the energy like it's already come to pass, like you are already the richest person in your area. Play a silly game with yourself. Set an alarm on your phone and do it 3 times a day. I do it every time I get in the car to pick up my kids from school. I was a shit driver and now I'm a great driver. I get on that road and I'm confident. I used to enter onto the road like a little granny. Oh my God. I hope I can get in here. Now I'm like, whoa, let's go. I'm the wealthiest woman in Townsville. Get out of my way. This is the energy that we want to embody. Shoulders back. Really feeling it multiple times a day. Maybe we're driving in our shit car, but let's pretend that we're driving in our dream car. Let's pretend that we're living in our dream home. And let's really create portals for money to go to. Yes, I want to live here. Yes, I want to experience this. Yes, I want money for this. We are in our family consistently, when we're not going through trauma, consistently talking about all of the amazing things that we are going to do with money. Just 2 nights ago, we all discussed yearly family overseas trips. We worked out how much we'd need 30K per year for an overseas family holiday. We decided that we would do it every single year. And as the kids grow up and they leave home, it's still there available to them, yearly family overseas holiday. And our intention of that family overseas holiday is to go there and experience the culture and the food. We got our intentions clear. We found out how much money we're going to need. We got in the energy of it. We went to a Greek cafe and we sat there and decided that we want to go to Greece. We ate the food. We went there. We went there in spirit. We went there in soul. And then we talked about it. And then we got excited about it. And then we talked about it some more. I've always wanted to take my family to the Gold Coast on a holiday. And just in November, I decided that I was going to. And I had a look for this year and I was like, when would be the best month? It would have to be September. Some of you have heard this story, but I'm going to share it again because it's a friggin' epic story. And there's a key here. This is the power of what I'm talking about. And so I made the decision. I decided, okay, boom, I am taking my family to the Gold Coast. All right, how much money am I going to need for that trip? All right, $10,000. Okay, we've got it locked in. I decided, I got the date set up. Okay, I'm going to need 10K. Rightio, beautiful. I'm excited. I spent about 3 hours one evening searching accommodation, looking at all the different places that we could stay, looking at the theme park passes. I spent hours upon hours. I went there. I got excited. It was so delicious and divine. I had so much fun looking through all the high-rise apartments and where we could stay and visualizing all of the amazing things that we'll do. And then I had a masterclass series. I did one of these and I shared my goal. And then one of my clients that signed up, she said, Jess, I'm signing up to work with you. I'm signing up for your business program. And here is the $10,000 for your Gold Coast holiday. Here it is. I literally within 2 weeks manifested the $10,000. Now it changed. It changed. We reserve the right to change our mind at any time. Actually, something actually better came along, something of a higher vibration, if it could be, because it's pretty important for me to take my family to the Gold Coast, but something of a higher vibration that was even more aligned came along. And its name was Tony. And I had an insight a week later. It was 11 o'clock at night and Spirit said, Jess, you need to go and check on the Tony Robbins website. And my logical brain went, I've never been on his website before, ever. Why would I go and do that? Spirit said, you need to go and have a look now. And so I went onto the Tony Robbins website. I just typed in Tony Robbins over Google and I found his website and I went there. And it was the Black Friday sale. And he had 40% off his programs. And I had a look to see when he was coming to Australia, and he was coming to Australia in September. Dilemma. I was like, oh no, I'm going to the Gold Coast with my family. Oh my goodness. And so I was in like this struggle. So I went to bed and I decided family first. I'm just like, no, it's okay. I can go and see Tony anytime, and we're going to go to the Gold Coast. To cut a long story short, I woke up the next morning and I said to my husband, oh my goodness, I had a look on the Tony Robbins website last night and all of his courses are 40% off, and he's in Sydney in September. And my husband looked at me and he said, you've got to go to Tony. And I was like, what? And he was like, you have to go to Tony. Literally that morning we came down here, we went over everything. We booked, I signed up for the highest package. It's like diamond. You can't get a higher package. I'm right up the front. I get the full VIP. I'm already intentionalizing that Tony will call me up onto the stage. I've already had a dream where he did, and I cried into his chest. I cried into Tony Robbins' chest. So, you know, intentions are powerful things. And so the Gold Coast holiday for the family is on the back burner, and Tony Robbins it is, which is super exciting. It's been on my dream board to see Tony Robbins for the last 20 effing years. So this is going to be an absolute experience of a lifetime for me. And because I have had that booked in quite a few months ago, well, we booked it back in, it must have been December, it could have been January, I can't exactly remember. My whole year has just been elevated. You know, it's really important that we invest in ourselves, because, you know, when we've got things to look forward to and we've actually working with world-class leaders and we're in proximity to people who are already doing what it is that we want, we get the benefit of that. We are elevated, right? We get to tune in, you know, to their vortex. Proximity is absolutely key. So there's a few stories there. Eileen, I love it. Kay, McKinlan, I'm ready. Amazing. All right, so let's go. So just in the chat, what do you all think your money blueprint is? In the chat, what do you think I mean when I say your money blueprint? What do you all think your money blueprint is? Having a big drink of water. Make sure you all drink lots of water over the next week, because energy work is thirsty work. Michelle Bateman, Tony was the reason I started my business, and 1 year later I crewed his event and was able to tell him what he said and the impact he had. Oh my goodness, Michelle, that is a frigging amazing. Congratulations, sister. I love that. The most important thing is I'm thinking about what clothes I'm going to take, because Tony, apparently, because I've worked with a lot of multiple 7-figure coaches that have crewed for Tony as well. And they're like, he runs hot. So the air conditioners, it's like freezing in Tony land, but there's lots of dancing, right? It's UPW. So, you know, it's like 4 days of dance. So I'm manifesting what I'm wearing. So cold. Yes, layers. Yeah, I think I'm going to go to Rockwear and buy all of like exercise clothing, and it's all going to be brand new. And I'm going to have a different outfit, of course, for every day. I'm going to get new Nike sneakers, hats, the works. So my husband's like, wouldn't you go to that and be dressed a little bit more businessy? And I'm like, hell no, absolutely going for comfort. I'm going to be all colorful. Hell no. Amazing. All right. So in the comments, what do you all think your money blueprint is? I'm going to continue on. And we're going to dive straight into it. So what is your money blueprint? Well, what it really is your money blueprint is you are the wealth of the universe individualized, and the only limitations that you have are the ones that you have imposed upon yourselves. We're all coded inside of ourselves for wealth, abundance, and prosperity. It's in our original soul's coding. Can we all feel that? Do we all know that that is the actual truth? It's in our blueprint, right? Yeah, Lisa Horn, family beliefs have kept me restricted. Absolutely. It's the conditioning. We've all been false coded. We've had a false template placed over the top of our original soul's codes. Our money blueprints are blocked by our nervous systems. Our nervous systems have been tampered with. Most of us have got high cortisol levels. Most of us are living continuously in fight or flight. And so we've been programmed and conditioned away from our original codings, but they're absolutely there. And my intention over the next week is going to help those codes, those old codes, be activated, to really wake those old codes up so that you can actually start to really move things in the direction of your goals and dreams. Aileen, my retreats are going live this week and they're going to sell out straight away. Boom. Amazing intention to set. I'm super excited for your retreats. Dina, my money blueprint, I believe, is to expand beyond what I thought was possible. I was born and raised in the Hamptons, so much wealth, lots of judgments, family, story, shit, all preparing me to gain wealth to help others and myself to move through all the blocks. Absolutely. And wealth and prosperity, it's a feeling. It's our lineage, it's our heritage, it's our connection to the divine, right? If you can think about your phone and the connection, you want to have your connection with the divine plugged in. Okay? It's got to be like that. Now, sometimes shit's going to happen, go through some family trauma, you break your ankle, you just have a really, really rough week or a rough month, and things will get rough. When you're diving deep, you will be taken into your wound, you know, and we have to, you know, be able to actually go into those places and spaces inside of ourselves to be able to move more into our light body. If we're just bypassing our shadow and our wound, we're going to stay where we are. So there will be times where you will be in your wound. There's going to be times where the connection, you know, it's just, you're going to feel crap. You're going to feel like hell. Rebirth is crippling. Like, let's get effing real here. Like, shit is going to hit the proverbial fan. You are going to feel like you are going mental sometimes. And this is all a part of it, right? You see all of these amazing coaches and healers on Facebook, and they are amazing, but it's, you know, it's not all true. You know, I love to talk about what actually goes on behind the scenes because it's going to be chaotic. You've got to go in and excavate. You've actually got to get real with yourselves, and you've got to go into the spaces and places inside of yourselves that are not working, that are trauma, stored trauma in the body, where the wound is, and you've got to start digging and honoring and allowing yourself to go into that. And tomorrow, why you're not receiving, we're going to go there. We're going to absolutely go there, because this is where you're going to get the gold. This course is not all the bells and the whistles and, oh, let's receive $100,000 and we all feel amazing about it. No bullshit. If we all felt amazing about it, you wouldn't be here. This class would not have 87 women participating. So we've got to get real with where we're actually at so that we can do the work around it, so that you can live and breathe an amazing life experience. And that's why I'm here, right? I'm here for you all to get results and outcomes. I want you to have massive breakthroughs over the next week. So it's going to get disconnected sometimes, and your job, here's a key. This is a big effing key. Your job is, when you get disconnected to soul, spirit, God, creator, divine, universe, whatever you resonate with calling all that is, you're all very spiritual, right? You're all connected. Otherwise you wouldn't be here. We're all on different, parts and legs of that journey. But when you get disconnected, your number one job is to bring that connection back. That's what your job is. When you fall out of alignment with yourself and God, your job is to bring yourself back into alignment. Sometimes that means take a sleep. Sometimes that means meditate. Sometimes that means get back into your daily habitual success habits. Sometimes it means go for a swim, whatever that is. Don't try and figure out the thing that you've been bashing your head against a brick wall over. Find your connection to God again. Pray, watch the sunrise, watch the sunset, go to the water and actually look at it. Get present to the omnipresence within you. This is your multiple 7 figures. This is it. There's nothing that we need to figure out. Actually, most of it is emptying, right? Emptying, limiting the amount of information that you have coming into your subconscious and conscious. You've got to find spaciousness, and you've got to create spaces of spaciousness into your days and weeks, and however that looks for you. Maybe it's yoga, maybe it's a walk in the park, maybe it's meditation, maybe it's ice skating, maybe it's, having takeaways with your family by the ocean, dance, putting music on once a day and going crazy, wearing your favorite clothes every single day just because, or not, wearing your pajamas, spending the day on a weekend in your pajamas, whatever it is that aligns with you. Drinking lots of water, filtered water that is chloride and fluoride free, taking your next level health supplements. Alrighty, so I'm going to read something to you all that's going to be really, really activating. Oh, I've lost my bookmark. Just bear with me for one moment. All right, it's a 40-day prosperity plan, and I'm going to post this inside our group. So please don't feel like you need to take all of these notes. So the 40-day prosperity plan, it is a program for realizing, abundant prosperity in your life and affairs. It takes 40 days for consciousness to realize a truth. A break during the 40-day period releases the energy being built up around the idea. Therefore, there must be a definite commitment to faithfully follow this program each and every day for 40 days. And if you miss one day, to start over again and continue until you can go to the full period with perfect continuity. Here is the course of action. The first one is, number 1, establish a specific date to start your program. So the 40-day prosperity program, decide when you're going to start it. Such as the beginning of a particular week, you could start it on a full moon, a new moon, after your period, next week, today, whenever the heck you want. Alignment is the key. Count out 40 days on your calendar and mark the completion date. On the first day of the program, write the statement shown below in your spiritual journal. So if you don't have a spiritual journal, manifest one, go and buy one, make this special. And it says here, and this, I really want you to feel this. It says, and I'll be posting all of this, I'll be screenshotting what I'm reading and posting it into our group. Okay, these are the words, I want you to feel them, because this is speaking to your money blueprint. This verse here is speaking to your original soul's codes. So it says here, this day, I cease believing in visible money as my supply and my support, and I view the world of effect as it truly is, simply an outpicturing of my former beliefs. I believed in the power of money, therefore I surrendered my God-given power and authority to an objectified belief. I believed in the possibility of lack, thus causing a separation in subconsciousness from the source of my supply. I believed in mortal man and carnal conditions, and through this faith gave man and conditions power over me. I believed in the mortal illusion created by the collective consciousness of error thoughts, and in doing so, I have limited the unlimited. No more. This day, I renounce my so-called humanhood and claim my divine inheritance as a being of God. This day, I acknowledge God and only God as my substance, my supply, and my support. So we can all feel that, right? We all know that that is the truth. That statement really correlates with your money blueprint, our original soul's codings. It's within us. And money is not something, money doesn't come because we ask for it. It comes because it's ours. It's yours. It's coded within, it's sewn into your soul. It's just about unlocking that because we've been so conditioned away from all of that. So after reading the daily statement that I just read, either upon rising or before going to bed in the morning, meditate on it for at least 15 minutes, focusing on each idea in the statement with great thoughtfulness and feeling, letting the ideas fill your consciousness. Follow each meditation period, write down in your journal the thoughts that come to you. Be sure to do this daily. And then there are 10 principles. And so I'm going to post all of these inside our group. And you need to do these 4 times over, which gives you 40 days. I'm just going to read a couple of them out loud. Number 1 is, God is lavish, unfailing abundance, the rich, omnipresent substance of the universe. This all-providing source of infinite prosperity is individualized as me, the reality of me. I am the inner presence as my lavish abundance. I want you to really, really read and feel these words when I post them. I am consciousness of the inner presence as my lavish abundance. I am conscious of the constant activity of this mind of infinite prosperity. Therefore, my consciousness is filled with the light of truth. There is so much. There is so much to read and absorb. One more is, money is not my supply. No person, place, or condition is my supply. My awareness, my understanding and knowledge of the all-providing activity of the divine mind within me is my supply. My subconsciousness of this truth is unlimited. Therefore, my supply is unlimited. So your money blueprint is your consciousness. It's when you're looking at the river and you're sitting there and you're in the presence of that. It's when you are so connected and you are sitting there having a cup of tea and you are like, I am so grateful to be alive right now. And life is sacred and life is special. It's when you are staring at a sunrise and you're just feeling at one with everything. It's when you're emptying your mind and you're not like thinking, trying to figure everything out. It's when you're dropping down into the surrender of being a human being. And you've got to become a master at this. This is what it's all about. It's becoming a master of the energetics of our alignment with God, universe, spirit, truth, soul, source. This is the codes. These are the keys. Just 3 years ago or 4 years ago, I can't remember how long it's been right now, I was working full-time, not full-time, felt like full-time. I was working part-time as a nurse and my husband was working full-time in the Australian Army. And I knew that we both needed to leave completely those entities, right? And I remember I focused on it and I was thinking about it and I was like, okay, I've got to get myself out of nursing. Okay, I've got to get my husband out of the army, out of the defense force. Okay, how do we do this? How the heck do we do it? It's security, right? It's safety. It's certainty. It feels safe. We know it. We wake up every morning and we know what to do, and it's there and it's certain, and holy shit, where would we be without that certainty and that safety and that comfort zone? And so I remember looking at it. I remember really thinking about it and looking at it. And I remember thinking at it and looking at it like, it feels impossible. It actually feels like that we actually can't do that. That it just feels like a miracle would have to come to pass in order to be able to free ourselves from those entities. And I felt like I would have to actually climb Mount Everest. I'm shit scared of heights. You get me on a ladder, you know, nearly as high as this roof, and like I will be shaking. So I felt like I would have to actually go on a trek and climb Mount Everest. That's how hard it felt. And so I stopped thinking about it and I just decided, I'm just like, well, shit, got no effing idea, like no clue, and actually doesn't feel like it's possible. It actually feels like a miracle would have to happen. And then I remembered something. I was living in alcoholism from the ages of 14 to my late 20s, was probably still drinking rather heavily in my early 30s. And I remember that I was thinking about giving up for many years while I was in alcoholism, but I was like, how the F am I going to do that? Like, how am I going to do that? I drink to numb the pain. I drink because I cannot access my purpose and my soul is dying, but I don't know how to access all of that. And so I remember when I wanted to give up drinking because I knew it was going to kill me, I didn't know how. And again, I felt like a miracle would have to happen in order for me to give up the drink. I was so addicted. Like it was a part of my identity, right? And in that moment, when I started to think about how am I going to leave nursing and how's my husband going to leave defense and how are we going to support the family, I remembered the alcohol. And when I decided that I was going to give up, I remember how it felt. It felt impossible. It felt like I would never be able to do that. But guess what? I did, because I decided, I made the decision. Despite my logical brain telling me that I was batshit crazy and that it was never going to happen and that it would take a miracle, I decided anyway. Just like I decided that I was going to leave nursing and my husband was going to leave the army. I decided, and yep, the loop would come around and like there'd be times I'd be like, this is crazy, this is ridiculous, I don't know how, this is absurd. Oh, well, okay. Hello, monkey brain. Goodbye, monkey brain. I'm freaking doing this anyway because I'm Jess Quigley. And I am bigger than my human form. And I'm a master at this work. And I've come here in training many, many lifetimes before. So I'm coded for this. And I'm a system buster. I'm a future version of myself that's come back. I'm a renegade. I came here to bust this system. And so these are the codes that I want you to activate inside of yourselves. It is time. You are more powerful than what you know and think, and forget the thinking brain. Make the decision and absolutely back yourselves. The universe will show you the how. We've just invested in a marketer digital agency team and I'm paying them $15,000 a month right now, just in my digital marketing agency team. And that just got started nearly 3.5 weeks ago. And it's the same thing. I'm waking up every morning. The logical brain is like, you're paying $15,000 a month just for your digital marketing agency team. What the heck are you doing? Have you gone crazy? Yeah, I'm going there, baby. This ship is afloat. I said mass consciousness. So I am going there. It feels ridiculous. It feels insane. I'm going to see Tony because I want to see how he does it. I want to sit in that room and I want to go, okay, that's me. And I'm going to watch you, Tony, because when I've watched you and I'm close to you and you're right there for me, I can feel your breath. Guess what? I'm coming. I'm going to do that next year. And I've set the intention that next year I'll be standing on stage. I found the lady. It's $50,000 per event. I had a call with her because I set the intention and there she was, Lauren from Brisbane. She's like, we'll do everything. We'll literally fill the room. We'll get 200 bums on seats. You can go for a jog, put on your pretty dress and show up on stage. We'll do the whole thing, 50K. I'm like, amazing. I'm in next year. It is happening. It feels ridiculous. It feels absurd. It's the same thing as before I gave up alcohol. When I decided that I was leaving nursing and my husband was going to leave the army. It's ridiculous, right? It's like, how the heck would I ever be able to do that? We decide, we make the decision, we set the intention. And then we continue to move forward and we get out of our comfort zones and we back ourselves. So I couldn't tell you all exactly how I left nursing and my husband left defense. I couldn't tell you all exactly each step towards that because guess what? A miracle did happen. But guess what? I went all in. I didn't just sit on the couch going, oh, it's okay. It's all coming. It'll work out. No, I got uncomfortable. I went into the places and spaces inside of myself. I went into my wound. I excavated. I felt incredibly effed up at times. I then got going again. I backed myself. I look after myself at the next level. I've got my daily habitual success habits. I fall off the horse. I make mistakes. I get back on the horse. I serve at the highest level. I'm here on mission. It's not about me. It's not about me. It's about the people that I'm here to serve. And it's all of your moral obligation to be wholly rich. It's all of your moral obligation to be wholly rich. And I really want to give you all permission and activation for this, because it's time for the light workers, for the star people, for the members of the family of light, for all of the salt of the earth, divine community to start to take and shift things back. Because when money gets placed into the hands of good people of the earth, of the light workers, it's going to be distributed into energies and entities that are good, that are not of the deep state, right? I was thinking about my investment with Kate, my digital marketing team. Kate's in Melbourne. I've been requesting that team for 15 years. Who's going to help me affect mass consciousness? Who's going to help me get out there into the thousands and tens of thousands? Who's it going to be? Jess, Spirit is like, Jess, just let go and trust. All will be revealed at the right time. Kate came in at the right time. Kate is amazing. Kate is one of us. Of course she is. I get to pay Kate $15,000 a month, an amazing divine soul that is here in purpose, in all of the right energetics. She is a light worker and it's so incredibly aligned. When we go to the chiropractor, we get to pay thousands of dollars a year to that gorgeous organization and our gorgeous chiropractors. How good is that? When we get to be wealthy, we get to give back. We get to give back to charity. We get to give back to organizations that we are passionate about. And we get to give back to those organizations and entities that are for the light. This is so incredibly important. It is time. It is your moral obligation to be wholly rich. And so we've got to work towards healing our relationship with money. So, all right, Question time. Just going over my notes here. All right, question time. Let's get real here. If you were to receive, let's say I wired $20,000 into your bank account right now for all of you, how would you feel receiving, honestly, the good and the bad and the ugly in the chat? How would you honestly feel receiving 20K in full right now? Just feel into it. Notice what comes up. And then pop it in the chat. And for everyone that's coming back to watch the replay, please type in replay. We've got many people that are on lots of different time zones. So please type in #replay so that I know who is fully participating and immersing themselves in all the magic. Oh my goodness, we've got 18 new messages in the Zoom room. I apologize that I haven't been keeping up with our chat. Sarah Johnson, grateful, excited, scared, blessed. Yeah, great, awesome. Glad that you acknowledge the scared there. Feel that in the nervous system, because that's why you're not receiving it, because of that nervous system, that fear. It's keeping it away. If we don't feel safe in receiving in our nervous systems, we won't receive. It's a nervous system thing. Right? And like I said, we've been programmed and conditioned in our nervous systems. Isn't it interesting that we've all been programmed in our nervous systems to invest $70,000 and $100,000 sometimes into hunks of metal that sit in our sheds? And that's okay. And we'll all apply for loans and we'll pay off double the amount of our hunks of metal. But for many of us, thinking about investing $20,000 into ourselves is just off the charts. Why is that? Isn't that interesting? Same with bricks and mortar. We've all been programmed. We've all been conditioned. And it's in my purpose to break these conditions. I want women to go, okay, cool, 20K investment in myself for this year is 20, 30, 40, 50, $100,000, because I am the creator. I am the wealth of the universe individualized. And if I don't work on me, nothing is going to change. Nothing. You know, it's in my mission and vision that everyone in the world has a coach and is in some kind of personal development program at all times. It should be. It's that frigging important. We're in the state of the world of why things are because we haven't been equipped with the tools and we haven't been given the right support. For those of you that are in business, support is absolute key. Despite all the things that you do with your knowledge and the tools that you teach, just by supporting someone and seeing them and holding space for them and giving a shit and actually listening to them is healing, is game changing, because for most of us, even our parents didn't see us. We weren't honored. We weren't seen. No one knew in our generation, for most of us, what was going on internally. We didn't have an internal voice. And if we did express it, we weren't seen. We weren't heard. We weren't held. And this is what we get to bring to the world just by providing our support and our presence and our love and our care and our light. It changes lives. It's game changing. I had a little bit of a break off working with a coach from September until December last year, because I just came out of a multiple 7-figure business pod. which by the way was phenomenal, but it was a lot of strategy. It had me up here. It had me very full in the side of my brain that really should be very empty. And so I came out of that program and I was like, oh, I just need a break. I can't work with anyone at the moment. I'm just need a break. Never, ever, ever will I ever do that again. Worst 3 months in business. Everything stalled. Everything went to a halt. I still got good results, but nothing grew. I wasn't pushed outside of my comfort zone. Everything became stagnant. So never, ever, ever again will I ever be without a coach, ever. I had a $20,000 sale last week and I messaged my coach straight afterwards and I said, 20K sale, thank you. Yes, I did that sale, but my coach holds me to it. We can't do this alone. We can't. And we need to realize that. All multiple 6, 7, and 8-figure business owners, they have got teams of teams. They come into ceremony. They're working with teams of women. We have to be in proximity and we have to be working with people who are already doing what it is that we want. It's key. Key. All right, let's have a quick read of how you would all feel. Dina, I'd be so excited and grateful. Investment in self and finances, gold and silver. Dina, what's happening in the negative? The positive is amazing, but what's going on in the negative? Feel into it, my love. Tracy, so very grateful, excited, worry, fear. Yeah, great to acknowledge. Great to acknowledge. Clee Shields, hello, gorgeous. We've got 11 participants in the Zoom room. 1-1. Excuse me. Clee, it's great to have you here in the Zoom room. Fear, guilt, overwhelm, relieved, grateful, beautiful. Well done for going all in there and really feeling what is actually coming up. Coming up. Quick story. So when I decided that I was going to leave nursing and step fully into my coaching business, I did $50,000 in sales the year prior. And I was like, all right, that's good, but it's not enough to leave nursing. We got 3 kids just in private school. So their fees are $25,000 a year alone. And I'm the sole income earner in our family. So I was like, all righty, well, I don't really know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing in terms of the energetics and the coaching. I'm a master at this. But I don't know what I'm doing in terms of, I don't know actually how to sign on clients. I don't know the business stuff. I've got no back end. And I literally am signing on clients through a whim and a wish and a prayer. And so I was like, I actually need to figure this out. Like, if I'm really going to get serious about this, I actually got to learn what the heck it is to do. And so I signed up with a team of coaches who were making $30,000 consistent months because I knew that they knew something that I didn't know they had to. And so within the first 3 weeks of working with them, I left nursing and I did $100,000 in sales in less than 3 months, right? Because I learned what it was that I didn't know and I applied that and boom. And I was the star in their mastermind. I was the star. I was the winner. I was absolutely crushing it. And it felt good because I'd never won at anything in my life before. I was terrible at everything in school. I sucked at sports. I always came last in the running races. Everyone laughed at me. There was nothing that I was good at. And when I went into my first mastermind, my first coaching program, I was winning and it felt so good. And then in came this absolute gorgeous woman and she ended up surpassing me, which was fine. And I absolutely loved her and adored her. But what was really interesting was she came into the container and she had amazing results. And then one day she came in and she let us all know that she'd had a $20,000 sale. Like that. I was nearly on the ground. My insides were turning inside out and I was so aware of that. I felt so uncomfortable. I'm like, oh my God. I feel like vomiting. How did she do that? 20K in one sale? Oh my God. And it was such a gift because I realized why I wasn't having $20,000 sales. My nervous system was rejecting it in a massive way. It didn't feel safe. So I was like, okay, hello, this is great. I'm going to lean into it. I'm going to actually lean into you, and I'm going to acknowledge you, and I'm going to feel you, and I'm going to get consciousness around you. And then I'm going to clean you up, and then I'm going to work through you and to you. So I made the decision that I wanted to have $20,000 sales. And it was all about the integration with my nervous system. It needed to feel safe because it didn't feel safe, and therefore it wouldn't come through. It was 8 months. It was 8 months when I saw Sarah have a $20,000 sale and I felt like vomiting, and I realized that I was a very long way away from that. It was an 8-month journey of opening my nervous system up to receiving that. And then once I worked through that, those $20,000 sales came through so quickly that I couldn't keep up with them. And they're my favorite sales to have. Now I have $30,000 sales, of course. In 6 months' time, it'll be $50,000 sales. In 12 months' time, my packages, my high-end packages will be $100,000. Because this is where my soul's going, and this is the work that I'm currently doing inside my nervous system. And I want to say something to you all. It doesn't matter how much value that you have inside your programs. It doesn't matter how beautiful your website is, how many credentials you've got. It doesn't matter how many years you've been mastering your craft for. If you're not ready to receive, you ain't going to monetize. None of that is going to matter. So you got to get really, really real with yourselves. And that's tomorrow is going to be all about that. Lisa Horn, I support my clients all the time, but rarely get work done on me. Have just started to get sessions done for me. Amazing. And I'm learning to receive and invest in myself. Abso-freaking-lutely. Awesome, Lisa. Non-negotiable. Grateful to be here, Jess. Clee. Amazing to have you here. Monique, excited and shit scared at the same time. Beautiful. Love your vulnerability. Dina, I don't feel afraid anymore that I'd screw it up again. Awesome. That's great. Amazing, amazing. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Checking the Facebook page. Good morning, Karen. So good to have you here. Kay, a blessing from God. Aileen, absolutely buzzing. Congratulations, Kay. Amazing. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So we're going to finish up soon, but I just wanted to bring together a few of the key pieces of information. So we want to be asking ourselves, what are the limitations that we're feeling? And let's really get real with those limitations. Really allow yourselves to honor where it doesn't feel safe, where it doesn't feel comfortable. We've also, as a part of receiving, we've got to be really grounded in our receiving. People that win the lotto and that win millions of dollars, you see them and yeah, they're very excited and it's wonderful. And of course, we would all be incredibly excited if we won millions of dollars. But when you are out of balance in your receiving and you're like up there in the ethereals, you're not grounded in your receiving. Therefore, if you do receive, you won't be able to hold on to it and it won't be consistent. So we want to get really grounded in our receiving. When I started receiving my first $20,000 sales, I was very excited, but I was grounded in that receiving. Now, when I receive a $20,000 sale, which happens regularly, weekly, I'm neutral. It's great. It's amazing. I'm more excited about the person that I get to work with, that the life that gets to be changed. But I'm neutral. There is no feeling there. It's like, okay, of course. It's of course. Yeah. Now there'll be the next leg of the journey where the $100,000, that's going to be a journey, right? That's a journey for integration. It doesn't feel safe for me to receive $100,000 like that. I don't feel worthy enough. I'm conscious of that. I'm owning that. I'm in the vulnerability of that, because guess what? When we played it like that, we get to clean it up. We get to do the change work. And it's making those decisions. It's deciding and knowing that the universe and spirit will work with us and to us and through us towards all of our goals and dreams. As long as it's linked up with spirit and our higher truth and our higher good and for the good of mankind. And when all of those links are there, literally we have access to infinite wealth and abundance and prosperity, because that is our original soul's codings. So I've got a little inner work task for you all today for you to go away and do. And it is a money receiving mirror activation task. What I want for you all to do today is go away and have a look at your beautiful selves in a mirror. And I want you to ask yourselves how much you're worth. What is your worthiness in terms of dollars? And we're going to, just for the purpose of this inner work task, we're going to put an hourly rate on our worthiness, just for the purpose of being able to access our nervous systems and where we're really at with each next iteration. So I would love for you all to go to a mirror over the next 24 hours and really feel into your worthiness in terms of dollars per hour. So you can look in the mirror and say, I'm worth $100 an hour, and feel what that feels like. I'm worth $200 an hour, and feel what that feels like. I'm worth $300 an hour, and feel that, and go all the way up. And start to notice where it really starts to get squirmy, or maybe it's squirmy at the start and then maybe it starts to loosen up, but all you're doing is observing. You know, you want to get really good at observing what's actually coming up inside of you. You know, we've all bypassed a lot of our shadow. A lot of the new age teachings are just think positive. Don't think about that. Don't go there. Turn your thoughts to positivity. It doesn't work. You've got to actually acknowledge that which resides in front of you. Inside of you. You've got to bring up what is unconscious, and you've got to be open to all of that as well. So just let yourself sit there with it and really do an investigation and know that it's safe. Tell yourself it's safe for me. Love yourself and honor yourself where you're at right now, and look at it like, isn't this interesting? Isn't it interesting that I've gone to $500 an hour and shit, I don't feel worthy enough. Holy crap, I don't feel like I've got enough credentials, or, oh my God, my stomach is churning. Yeah, so go away and just spend 5 minutes on that. And then come back into our group over the next 24 hours and just report your findings. Just do a deep share with us of what came up for you. Don't spend too much time on this task, 5 minutes. If you spend too much time on it and you build it up too much, it won't happen. And I want you to get the results. So just get in and get it done. You could literally do a live video in our group. Put your phone there. We don't care what you look like. We want you to get the results. So do a little live video, and you could say, I felt like hell when I went to $500 an hour. This came up. This came up. You can do a live video inside our group to report your findings. You can do a post. Get in and absolutely get it done. Don't dilly-dally around. For those of you that have not booked in for a complimentary potency call, please send me a DM. There is a post where you can find the link. If you're not able to find it, just sing out and I will get it to you. We have got giveaways and prizes over the next week. We've got a full package giveaway to Spiritual Alchemy, my high attunement spiritual program that's valued at $3,000. One very lucky participant is going to be gifted that full package. We also have part scholarships up for grabs. I was originally giving away one part scholarship that's valued at $15,000. I've actually extended it out to 3 part scholarships. What that means is that I've taken $15,000 off my high-end business mastermind course that is designed for women in business, coaches, consultants, healers, to get to $100,000 consistent months in their business. This offer will never, ever be on the table again. It looks like we already have 2 of the part scholarships have already been snatched up. So if you'd love to have a conversation about what's on the table, what is available, and if you would love the opportunity to get up close and personal with me, I would definitely love to chat to you to see how I may be able to help you towards your next iteration. So just reach out and book a call. Our time for our next session is 8 a.m. again tomorrow morning. And then we go live on Thursday morning at 8 a.m. For those of you that are joining us live on Facebook, if you would love to join us live in the Zoom room, just sing out, I'll get a Zoom link out to you. For everyone that has joined us live in the Zoom room, I love you all. You're all incredible. We still have 11 participants. For those of you that follow me, you all know that I'm nuts about any numbers that are 111 or 1 or anything 1. I love you all. Thank you all so much for joining. My voice is just about to go, and I have a session in our high-end mastermind program right now. So it's a wrap. Go and crush it. And remember, you are as rich right now as any individual who has ever walked upon this planet. Live it, breathe it, embody it, and I'll see you all tomorrow. I love you all. Talk to you all then. Bye, Queens.